dreadlock journey. I have my Pandora. This is Sizzla, called I'm Not Sure by Sizzla. So I'm using my beeswax, my lock, lock. It's from the same company. And I'm using my Africa Best as a scalp conditioner because the dreads in the past have pulled on my scalp. So I want to alleviate that by conditioning the scalp. So I put the Africa Best in there. Before we really start, I want to talk about my previous video I have out about the Psalm number 1. And I got very, passionate about it. And I just want to explain what is the message. And the message is we are a reflection of each other. So when you meet someone or you see a picture of someone, you're looking at a reflection of yourself. So when you harbor negativity or dislike, we're going to dislike that color or that fruit or that vegetable. We like certain foods. However, we're not going to take the foods that we don't like and just disappear that off the earth. Other people may like those other foods. So the key message was about respecting each other no matter who they are and communicating, especially as Black women. We have to learn to say to each other, I love you. I love your outfit, or I love what you're wearing, or without it being something sexual. Why are we so hateful? We have to bridge that. We are all connected. And once we see that, we're going to be further along, and the journey of life will be sweeter. It won't be stress. It will be sweet. And you're loving each other in a wonderful, kind way. You're getting up next to someone, and even though they may be on the phone talking, you're still in the person, the family, everybody's in love. So it's like, oh yeah, how y'all doing? And you're looked at as a oneness, and not just you're separate from each other. And when that was the message I was bringing up, forward. So let's get the dreadlock journey started. So the front of my hair has always been the hardest. It's always been the hardest. So no filter. Let's get it started. So I would take some of this, because this is really, like, if you can look at it, it's like jelly. It's a gel. It's a gel. So I would go in, because my hair is very straight. Now everybody can see what the texture of my hair looks like now, because I always have it covered up. And my philosophy is that the person that you are that you're together with as a, you could call it husband and wife and wife, that you have sealed that bond up. That's who I feel, you should see you uncovered, I am at a point now where I am uncovering all of this because I'm on YouTube. So when I go outside, I maybe uncover, you know, because part of the dreadlock journey is to expose the dreadlock to the sun, and having the sun be part of the journey. So covered up is maybe not going to happen as much. So when you see me, you may see me without a head covering. So after we did the gel lock, then I take the beeswax and I start forming what I call the dreads, the actual. And in a video, I talked about the dreads. And the word dread being, a bad word, fearful. And he felt dread, so we've turned that word around to be, because they used it, against, certain people to say that they're bad. And Bunny Wailer said it in one of his songs called about the Black Heart Man and how they're gonna go eat the children up and stuff like that. So they, scared them like the boogeyman. And they created these narratives around the locks, and it's been a topic of conversation in biblical stories with Samson and his locks, and it being cut by Delilah. So when I, go on this journey, I basically am going on it from a perspective of empowerment of a people that were persecuted and oppressed. So I'm going about it from that perspective. It's not like, I'm going to have a hairstyle and this is going to be my hairstyle. No, it's not about a hairstyle. So when you are going on a dreadlock journey, you have positive conscious music playing as you are forming what I call your antennas. And for the front, I'm going to have to actually twist it like this so that it can stay in place. And then when I untwist it, it'll start start to form, because I don't want it to be pulling on my scalp and causing boils, because that has happened to some folks, and they have had to cut their dreads, their locks, because it was hurting them actually. So I don't want that to happen to mine, especially with my texture of my hair being so thin and so straight that it may be difficult to actually form into dreads. So that's why I'm going on this journey, and I want it to be documented so that I could see what will happen 3 years from now with my dreads. What will happen a year from now? What will happen? God forbid. something happens to me, I don't get to do this anymore. So I want to take, use that time wisely to record this. So what I do next is I sit in the sun. I sit in the sun. See, right in here in the middle part of my head is very thin, as you can tell. So I'm going to have to twist these. Let's see. And sometimes you can braid them if your hair is really thin. I mean, there are Caucasian people who have put dreads in. The root may not have been, formed in a dread, but they still accomplish the journey. So it doesn't matter if you're white and want to put dreads, you're black, you're Chinese, with really straight hair, you can. So my battery is low on my phone. So once you finish twist all of these, then you go ahead and sit in the sun. Okay, you sit in the sun. And I can get I can't get the charger, but I'll be returning on here to continue the journey, to continue it. You can see the back. I don't know how. So this has to dry because I just came out of the shower. Remember, this goes into the scalp part. So you put this in all the exposed scalp area. Because I had locks. I had attempted locks and it pulled out a lot of this. So I have to reform that, if that makes sense. Okay. And then you just keep on going. See how that one's sticking up is defying gravity already. So if you have very thin, hair, my mom is not an African mom. She is Indian. So my dad is Caribbean black. So this is the results of the hair. My sisters have different texture hair than this. And even my daughter's hair is different textures. So stay tuned for my dreadlock journey, and I will be posting the psalm every day. Chant a psalm a day. Every day, look for the psalm and its translation to help you be a positive person to yourself and to others through the psalm. And I share the translation, especially for women who may feel left out of the Bible, because they talk about blessed be the man. What about the woman? So but they look at the man, the woman comes from the man, so they automatically talking about the woman when they say the man. However, I like to be specific and be inclusive and use the name to represent females born by birth as a woman who is able to birth and has a womb and is able to have that. And that's why in my previous video about the Shanta Psalm, I talked about transgender, and I said people who are discriminating against transgender are discriminating against themselves, because when you see someone, that's a reflection of you in some form or fashion. It's a reflection of you. You may feel uncomfortable about that part of you, but you have to embrace all of you in order to be a full person that's contributing to society in a positive way and not a violent or hurtful way to yourself or to others. So I always like to say, or like to speak rather, that you are a reflection of the person that you don't like, and take that to the bank.